Yuck. Welcome to Dylan and Ross Sports. My only goal whenever we're doing an intro is to get Ross laughing throughout the entire intro by starting off somehow.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Hi, I'm Dylan Synergy. You can find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders. Joining me today is Ross Jackson, who you can find on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola. How you doing today, Ross?
Good, man. I'm tired. How are you?
Not tired. I just got up from a nap.
Good stuff. So wait, when I called you earlier, were you napping when I called you?
Yes.
Did I wake you up?
Yes.
Oh, I'm the worst.
And then I went right back and then came back. And had to restart my computer.
I love that you made it back in time.
Listen, Ross. I have this really annoying alarm that I'd be surprised if no one heard it while we were in Mobile. But it goes off and it screeches at me until I shake my phone 20 times.
Oh, wow. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I dislike that. No, I did not hear that in Mobile at all.
Yeah, no, it's really loud and really annoying. But, Ross, I am terrible at waking up at alarms, so I have to go through this measure to wake up.
So the idea of you having to shake it 20 times is that by the time that you've shaken it 20 times, like you're awake.
Yes.
At this point.
These are the noises that it makes.
That's incredible. So does it just pick one of those and do it over and over again, or does it cycle through all of those?
It just does one of them. I mean, I have it set to random.
Oh, got it.
So I don't get used to it.
Yeah, that's smart. There are some that like get progressively worse, like the longer that you let it go or something like that.
That is the lowest level of noise that it makes. It gets higher. They all get higher pitched. And crazier, but there are different options. So you can change it to do a shake. You can change it to do squats. You can type a message. You can take a photo of somewhere in your house. You can do math. You can print out a QR code. You can play a memory game, and you can do steps.
Wow, I like the QR code one because you could print out the QR code and like put it next to the coffee maker or something, and then like have to walk all the way to the kitchen to take the picture of the QR code, I imagine.
Yeah.
Woof. I might do that just to annoy the ever-loving crap out of Megan.
Put it on her phone and replace her alarms with it so she doesn't know what's going on. Because, Ross, I'm going to tell you, there's no like, just turn it off. You have to complete the mission to turn it off. There's no like snooze. There's nothing. You have to do the mission to get stop.
What is this app called?
It's called Alarmy. Alarm with a Y.
Wow. Okay. I thought they were going to give it maybe they gave it a really pleasant name for what it sounds like it does.
Yeah. You know what you can also, I found out you can do, Ross.
What's that?
Completely different. If you're using like Waze or something like that, you can record your own like turn right. So you can have someone record the audio of the GPS for you.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So have you gone through all of yours so far and had Michael Caine record?
That'd be really confusing because he's a Pokemon. Unless he's acting for a job, all he says is, "Oh, Michael Caine."
Yeah, he's just,
I saw someone explain how to go from a Michael Caine accent to a Matthew McConaughey accent.
So good.
And
so good. You sent that to me. It was so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. He's like, you just put a little bit of a drawl on it, and all of a sudden, it's Matthew McConaughey. It's like, whoa. I love watching people work on voices, everything, which is pretty dope.
You a big fan of Jay Farrah?
Love Jay Farrell.
That man can do any voice in the world.
Yeah, he's incredible. There's this great sketch, or not sketch, but this great moment in a comedy stand-up from Trevor Noah, where he talks about a young Barack Obama meeting Nelson Mandela and taking his accent from like very like stereotypical like Chicago black accent and then taking it all the way to, or vernacular, and then taking it all the way to his voice, like to Barack Obama's voice as we know it, one step at a time. It's hysterical. It's really, really good. I'll send it over to you.
Anyway.
Do you have a favorite thing from Twitter today?
I have not been on Twitter very much today. I'm gonna be real with you, Ross.
That's fine.
I'm gonna be real with you, Ross.
It's Fun Friday.
It is Fun Friday.
We can do what we want.
My favorite tweet has to do with WandaVision, so it can't.
Oh, right.
Can't share it, but it had me rolling laughing at the 3 a.m. by the time I had finished the episode.
Yeah.
Which is why I was napping earlier, because I was up at 3 a.m. watching WandaVision.
I thought about watching it as soon as it premiered last night, and then that's actually when I ended up just immediately going to sleep instead. So I still haven't watched it yet.
I saw you up late though.
Yeah, I was getting articles done and stuff over at Canal Street. We'll talk about one of your articles today. It was very good. And I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch it tonight.
It's very good.
I can't wait to see it. And is it? Well, I probably shouldn't spoil that for anybody, so never mind.
There are 2 after credit scenes.
Okay.
2 post. There's a mid and a post.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, once we're done here, I have a meeting, and then I'll watch it after that.
Once we're done here,
over my vegan breakfast burrito from this new breakfast burrito store that I just opened up, like restaurant that just opened up like a couple miles from here, that I got delivered for $3.30.
Amazing.
And it's a breakfast burrito place. And you want to know how I know these are going to be like good ass burritos?
I've never had an ass burrito.
No, you don't move my hyphens. All right, don't move my hyphens. This is gonna be a good burrito because it's a breakfast burrito, but the restaurant doesn't open until 1 p.m.
Oh yeah, they know it. They know they're good.
You gotta open until like 2 a.m.
Special kind of confident to start serving breakfast at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I gotta be
there's
real.
No way I'm
like
passing
it's perfect for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cannot wait. So very excited for that.
We got a new Todd Mcshay mock draft, Ross.
Ooh. Let's do that before we. Well, actually, wait. Mock draft. Actually, let me do my favorite thing from Twitter real quick, and then that'll take us right into this. Sam Munson, PFF_Sam on Twitter, ended up tweeting out the markets that use the draft simulator on PFF the most.
Mm-hmm.
And have you seen this tweet?
I've not.
By any chance? Okay. Do you care to guess the 5 teams whose fans do the most mock drafts?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Saints as one of them, just because of us. I feel like we.
We're really carrying the load there.
I feel like we carry the load. Dolphins. I feel like fans. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Okay.
Are the Jags up there? I feel like they don't have enough fans to do that. To be up there.
The Jags are not one, and so far you're 2 for 3 though, so you're doing really well.
All right, I'm gonna go. Based off sheer amount of fans, I'm gonna go Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go. Falcons. They need something to look forward to.
Okay.
And
you take one more. So far, you've gotten 3 right, which is actually pretty good. So far, you've gotten 3 out of 5.
Then I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Why not?
That's a really good choice. It is not one. So the Saints are not on the list, but the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Jets, and then the Miami Dolphins are 1, 2, and 5 respectively.
Okay. Who are the other 2?
The other 2 at number 3 is the New York Giants, which is why I mistakenly said them, And then number 4 is the Minnesota Vikings. Actually, which Luke Braun explained by tweeting, Vikings fans have been in 2021 draft mode since week 2.
I believe it.
So that's pretty cool. I thought that was an awesome little tidbit in terms of like just the most drafts completed for each team, but 379.8 thousand drafts completed as the Dallas Cowboys.
Dang.
People love some mock draft simulators.
Dang. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's that. I think it's a good transition though into Todd McShay's mock draft. I'd love to hear more about what he did today.
I was typing in Todd McShay into a quote tweet, and I accidentally typed G instead of H at first.
Oh, no.
I'm glad I noticed that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty bad.
Man. Why are G and H right next to each other on the keyboard? All right, Todd McShay. Let's go. What do you think the first overall pick is, Ross?
First overall pick is probably Zach Wilson.
It's Trevor Lawrence. Then Zach Wilson, blah, blah, blah. Then the Panthers trade up to 3.
To tree.
And they take Justin Fields.
Nice.
And then, so of course, at 4, the Atlanta Falcons then take Trey Lance. So quarterbacks go at 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And then at number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals take
Penei Sewell.
Mac Jones.
6, Eagles take Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase at 7, Devonta Smith at 8. The Dolphins still end up with Devonta Smith. Shout out them.
Love that.
And then the Niners trade up to 9, Ross. And they take Mac Jones.
Who?
At 9.
Wow.
Michael McCorkle Jones.
Michael McCorkle Jones. Shout out Michael McCorkle Jones.
Pats get Pat Surtain. I mean, not the Pats. The Cowboys get Pat Surtain.
That would have been so perfect.
He would have really been a Pat Surtain.
Yeah, certainly.
New York certainly. The Giants get Jalen Waddle. Broncos get Caleb Farley after trading down. Great pick, great
not bad
value for them.
Yeah, for real.
Sean Slater at 13, Kwity Paye at 14, Michael Parsons at 15, J.C. Horn at 16, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at 17.
Okay.
Dolphins get Elijah Vera Tucker. Elijah Vera Tucker and Devonta Smith are a great first round.
It's a really great first round.
Washington football team gets Kadarius Toney.
Oh, him and Terry McLaurin and Anthony Gibson.
Scary.
Oh, and Jerick McKinnon when he's on. Oh my goodness.
And not Alex Smith.
Not Alex Smith. No, they officially released him. Who's the quarterback turned tight end over there that had a great season?
Logan Smith.
Yeah.
Randomly, Logan Smith had a good year. Christian Darrisaw, Big Dog Saw. Greg Rousseau at 21, Jalen Phillips at 22, Azeez Ojulari at 23.
You got to say the team names too, man.
Oh yeah, duh. I'm dumb. It's close to get Greg Rousseau at 21. Tennessee Titans get Jalen Phillips at 22. New York Jets at 23 get Azeez Ojulari. I forget everybody doesn't have the draft order completely memorized. The Pittsburgh Steelers at 24 get Najee Harris. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 25 get Trevon Moehrig.
Logan Thomas. Thank you, Justin. Not Logan Smith. Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas.
With the smiley face. We appreciate you helping out.
Logan Smith. Who was I thinking of? I don't know.
You conflated tight end Logan Thomas and quarterback Alex Smith. Makes perfect sense.
It actually wasn't Alex Smith that I combined him with. I combined him with Braden Smith of Fan Controlled Football.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That's what I think. 26 Browns.
Speaking of Fan Controlled Football, Josh Gordon tomorrow?
Josh Gordon tomorrow.
I'm
not going to be able to watch it live, unfortunately.
I will watch it for you.
Thank you. Hold it down. Tell Jurdy to throw bombs. The Cleveland Browns get Zaven Collins. Ravens get Terrace Marshall Jr.
Nice.
And the Saints get, this is a new one, Joe Tryon out of Washington.
Ooh. Okay,
Mike Triplett
coming up in the what do we call it? First round.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe Tryon. I considered Missouri's Nick Bolton here to fill the inside linebacker role, but the edge rush could also use some support. The Saints did have 45 sacks last year, but age concerns and free agency exposure might flip this unit until sooner rather than later. Tryon opted out in 2020, but he's versatile and quick. He had 12.5 tackles for loss and 8 sacks in 2019.
I like it. You know who he kind of reminds me of?
Who?
You remember old boy Haoli Kakaha? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm just saying that because he played in Washington. No, Haoli Kakaha was like not mad undersized, but he was like 6'3". I think Tryon's like what, 6'5", something like that.
Yeah, Tryon's a good size.
Yeah. He
try that one on for size.
Yeah, fantastic. How expertly done. I'm giving you credit. Just say thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
Jeez.
29, the Green Bay Packers select Levi Onwuzurike. 30, the Bills select Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne and Zach Moss would be a nasty duo.
They're pretty darn good.
The Chiefs get Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton and Willie Gay is like a linebacker duo is like
pure athleticism. Like
it's their gear is going to be set to 110 on every play.
Yes, exactly.
And they're either going to completely both miss the tackle or decapitate whoever they're hitting. And then this is a completely new one. I don't know if I've heard this name yet.
Like at all, or just in the first round?
All. This name is just not ringing a bell. At 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky.
I don't know that one.
I don't know
weird.
Much about Jamin Davis.
That's strange. I feel like we usually at least know who a guy is. 6'4", 224.
89 tackles, a sack, and 2 interceptions.
Yeah. So his best fit is as a developmental will linebacker, scheme fit 4-3 on a recent scouting thing. Jamin Davis, this is from the Draft Network. Jamin Davis projects as a will linebacker at the NFL level and appears to have a ceiling of an NFL starter. Long, rangy, explosive, correlated to several big plays in the passing game throughout the course of Kentucky's 2020 campaign. Exploded on the scene in 2020. Wasted little time. His lack of high volume sample size as a featured player is cause for buyer beware. Duck under blocks, spill opposing ball carriers, yet to master the feel of scraping through traffic, and his overall quickness and confidence in decision-making leaves the door open for confident passers and ball carriers to exploit I don't know what that's supposed to be, caused by his delay. So I guess it's like a little bit of a developmental prospect at the bottom of round one there. Is what that sounds like. Plays pretty well in coverage, maybe not the best against the run.
He had an 85-yard pick six against Tennessee.
First rounder. Against Tennessee?
Yeah. I mean, hey, 3 interceptions and 2 pass breakups. I mean, for a linebacker's not bad.
We ain't shaking any sticks at 3 interceptions for a will linebacker.
4 TFL, 102 tackles, 4 TFLs, 1.5 sacks.
Yeah, not mad at it.
Hey, I just don't know much about him.
Not mad at it.
His age is 20 to 25.
Oh wow!
I don't know his age.
My dude's Oh wow.
But he's a college junior, so I assume it's not 25. But I typed in I typed in Jamin Davis and accidentally clicked birthday. His birthday is December 12th, but his age is 20 to 25.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you know he's not 27.
Mm-hmm.
So at least there's that.
Yeah. There's at least that. Could be worse, Ross. He could be 28.
Yeah. I love that there was a new name up there for us. That's cool. That's what mock drafts are all about, man. Give you an opportunity to research somebody, see a little bit more about their fit, what they look like in a team. It's that good stuff. Mm-hmm. How about we jump to our break real quick and then come back? We got some basketball, we got some Alex Smith to talk about, and some other fun stuff throughout the sporting world. That sound good?
Yeah.
Dope. We'll be back over on the audio side here in just a moment. Today's episode of Dylan and Ross Say Sports will continue right after these messages. Don't forget to check us out. Full Press coverage, Full Press Radio Network. All right.
They put Rey Mysterio in the D tier of all-time wrestlers.
Who is they?
Off the bench.
No, they did not.
They put Rey Mysterio in the D tier. And Roddy Piper.
Wow. I'm not mad at Roddy Piper, if I'm being honest. But, like, Rey Mysterio? Like, come on, dude's a showman. Like,
he was my favorite wrestler. He was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
The Rock is not an S tier?
Woof.
The Rock's got to be an S tier.
Who did they have in S tier?
Undertaker, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. All those make sense.
But you could have thrown The Rock in the S tier.
Yeah. Is Sting A tier?
Sting is A tier.
Good. That time that Sting took off a mask of his face paint to reveal his face paint, phenomenal.
All-timer.
Just phenomenal.
That is an all-time moment.
And everyone treating it so seriously.
Oh my God!
So good, man. So good. That's one of my all-time favorite moments of WWE. That and the Hardy Brothers. Anytime the Hardy Brothers were on, I was big fan. There's also that one, and then the time that Diamond Dallas Page fake joined the NWO and then beat the hell out of all of them and then ran out through the crowd. That's a great moment too.
That's a good moment. And
then randomly when was it D-Generation X just randomly reformed between Shawn Michaels and Triple H out of nowhere?
D-Generation X! My favorite documentary as a kid was like a 13-disc documentary about D-Generation X, and it's the greatest thing of all time. I really want to go back and watch it again.
I didn't know that was the thing. I remember one time we went to the store, we went to Walmart, and I found a Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom bought, I was young. I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. And my mom bought it, and then we brought it home, and then I've turned it on, and it was entirely like uncensored, unfiltered.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so awkward. And then my mom brought it back. She brought it back to the store.
Have I ever told you about the time that we bought I got an Xbox 360, and my grandparents at a yard sale bought a copy of.
Do you want to tell this on air when we coming back? Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. All right, everybody, we are back here. Dylan and Ross Say Sports, bottom half hour. As you know, we always tend to do some extra bonus time during those breaks for the video crowd, but Dylan was in the middle of telling the story, so we decided to bring this one on air. We were talking about some of our favorite memories with wrestling, WWE, WWF, WCW, and then it transitioned to the time that I accidentally bought a very uncensored DVD, and my mother had to bring it back to the store, and now you're in the midst of telling this story.
By the way, also Ross, do you want to know the most like kid memory thing of all time? I said the D-Generation X like documentary was like 13 discs, right? It was 3 discs, but I remember it being so long. But
isn't it amazing how that happens?
Yeah, but it's still great. I still love it. It's from 2006.
Yeah.
But okay, so I got an Xbox 360, and then my grandparents bought me NBA 2K4.
Okay.
For the original Xbox. But then we open it, and it is a home movie.
No.
And so we put it in but we didn't really think about it because it was like, okay, it's just a disc. So we put it in. It was not family appropriate.
No. No, Dylan. Wow. Was it like a used game?
They bought it from a yard sale.
They bought it from a yard sale. I missed the yard sale part. My apologies. That's hilarious. Did y'all bring it back to the yard sale? Like, I think
I don't know I don't think so. No, I think they were too embarrassed.
Yikes!
I watched that DVD so many times.
you're like, no, actually, it's right here. I got it. It's over here.
I think we did keep it in like a drawer, but I was too scared to look at it.
Yeah, as well you should be. It's not like that.
I was a child.
That was a homemade thing. Like it's not out for public viewing.
Yeah. That's so I wasn't thinking of that. I wasn't thinking of that as a kid. I was thinking, oh, that'd be yucky.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, that's yucky. The funny thing about that is that, like, just I always kind of like to think about the life that happened before this moment. That means that, like, this particularly the man in this couple was watching it in his Xbox and then decided, I'm gonna play 2K. Took it out of the Xbox, put the 2K disc in, and then put it in the 2K.
And then never opened it again.
Ever again. Just took for granted 2K's in the thing. So then he never watched it again, which means either they didn't like it or he had just watched it so many times that he was like, I have to not watch this anymore. And then this also means that you bought that game, or your grandparents bought that game and brought it to you. He sits down one day and takes a disc out of his Xbox, sees that it is 2K6 and goes, oh, crap. Like, this guy realizes, I remember what I did with this case. We sold it, but this disc wasn't in there, which can only mean one thing. I sold a kid porn by accident.
I'm going to quote that. I'm going to cut that little clip out. And post it out of context.
Oh man, that guy is like, I bet he still thinks about that to this day.
Yeah,
he's like,
I do think about it to this day.
He's like, dang, I sold that old couple. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we still have to do another 26 minutes of the show, but I don't know how we top all of that because that's an incredible story. Man,
laugh at my childhood trauma.
Yeah, pretty much. Jeez. All right. Well, one of the other things we had on the docket today was to talk a little bit about.
Also, I can tell you one thing: never bought anything from a yard. They
yard
never
sale. Never went back.
Never went back.
Oh man, I'll guarantee that couple never recorded a movie again, nor did they ever hold a yard sale again. Does your trauma apply to yard sales? Like when you drive by yard sales, do you think about this moment?
I think about this moment even when I'm not driving by a yard sale, Ross.
Like, I can't stop thinking about it.
Every time I play 2K, I think of it.
It's like still in the Xbox 360, but the Xbox 360 is like boxed up and in the back of the back corner of a closet or of a shed outside, like so far away. Oh man. Well, we did get some NFL news today. There's no neat way to transition from this, so screw it. Um, we've got some free agency news as of today. Finally, and we talked about this a couple of days ago that there was talk that this would potentially happen. And there was and that Alex Smith looked like he was going to be released from the Washington football team. He indeed was. There in the press release sounded like they tried to call it a mutual situation that he asked to be released. Who knows how much of that is true? Last time we talked about Alex Smith potentially hitting the market, we mentioned that Chicago would be a good a landing spot for him. That makes sense. Anything change your mind about that, or does Chicago still feel like the right spot to you, or the most likely spot?
Chicago or New Orleans are the only ones that make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Chicago. Yeah, I agree. Chicago, Denver kind of has some potential to me too, but I don't know if Alex Smith wants to back up a younger quarterback, right? Like he wants to go somewhere where he can be a starter and continue to play. Like he clearly feels like he's healthy enough to go out there and make a difference. Yeah, everything. So, and we got that funny Coach Nagy interview to where he just like kept bringing up Alex Smith over and over again, unsolicited. So I would imagine it seems like Coach Nagy is also interested in Alex Smith.
I mean, why? Yeah, I mean, he's basically Nick Foles.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's probably Nick Foles, but on a contract you can actually determine the value of. That's the tough part with Foles. Seems that Broncos are going to be placing the franchise tag on safety Justin Simmons today. That came from Benjamin Albright, confirmed by Adam Schefter as well as Ian Rappaport.
I wonder why I didn't see that news on my timeline.
Well, but this is kind of a big deal because I know that my understanding is that Justin Simmons and the team want to come to a deal. So this franchise tag just gives them more time to figure it out with him without him hitting the market, essentially. So they'll be able to try to get this worked out and be able to get this moving. We talked about our favorite safety or who we thought were the best safeties in the NFL. Two of those safeties ended up getting some kind of a deal today with Justin Simmons, but also your guy, Micah Hyde, ended up getting a deal today as well. He got his 2-year contract extension with the Buffalo Bills. How do you feel about that extension? I don't know if we have details on it at the moment. It doesn't look like it.
You love to see it.
This is a big retained piece for them. And I guess the fact of the matter is that he was still on contract through next season, right? They're just adding 2 years beyond that. So good get for Buffalo Bills. Thought you'd be a little bit more excited about it, but
no, sorry, no, I am. I am. It is a good get. I was looking at this graph that came across my timeline and thinking of when we should talk about it because it's amazing.
Might as well do it now.
It's the booziest baseball fans, Ross.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So it's average. It's average drinks per game at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
And then they also average money spent, which is also an extremely telling part of this graph, Ross, because it's interesting to see what stadiums are charging the least for their drinks. Who do you think is the drunkest fan base at their games?
Okay, I'm gonna do something very stereotypical. This is baseball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with the Milwaukee Brewers.
They are they're about a little bit above middle here.
Okay.
So number one at 4.2 drinks per game for the average fan is the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, wow.
And so the average money spent is 46. So this is why this is interesting, Ross, because at the Los Angeles Angels fans are at 2.8 drinks per game, but they spend $49.
Yikes. Los Angeles sucks.
Yeah. The New York Mets, 3.5 drinks per game, but they spend 53. But the Atlanta Braves, Ross, 4.0 drinks per game, and they only spend 32.
Huh.
I mean, which is still $8 a beer.
Right. But better than 49 or 52.
Yeah. So see, Ross, if you take, let's see, if you take 52 and subtract it from 802, you get the amount of money that Trump spent on taxes.
Oh my gosh. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
It has been a minute.
But it came back.
Goodness.
But it came back.
I love it.
Yeah, so that came across my timeline. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin, speaking of free agency,
right,
and contracts, Ross, Blake Griffin got cut.
That's right.
They agreed to a buyout.
Yeah. So he's on the market, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good time to be on the market, right? This is the All-Star break.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for him to meet with some teams.
There's already an expectancy for him to sign with the Nets.
Oh, wow.
Because, of course.
Yep.
But the big discourse is whether or not, he's actually going to have that much of an impact or not.
Right.
And who knows? He's not playing at the highest level. Could also just be that he's in Detroit.
Sure. Yeah. How much of it is based upon the team more than him? Where do you think he ends up?
Probably Brooklyn.
BK?
It's probably going to be Brooklyn. I had the betonline.ag odds up for a second. Sport. I have to go back to it, but I know where it is. Sports.
Okay.
Was it player props? No.
Player props are futures or specials. Probably specials.
NBA player futures. Nope. NBA specials.
Yep.
So it's Blake Griffin's next team is at minus 500 for the Nets and then plus 200 for the next team, which is the Lakers.
Oh, wow. Are the Clippers even on there?
Clippers are at plus 1,200.
Yike.
The Bucks are at plus 1,000. The Heat are at plus 800. The Trailblazers are at plus 600. And the Warriors are at plus 400.
I kind of feel like I should go and bet Clippers.
Shams is already saying he's expected to sign with the Nets. So
okay.
So it's probably going to be the Nets.
Yeah.
If Shams says it.
Yeah, I'll go with Shams.
If presidential
source Shams.
Shams. If presidential source Shams. If presidential source Shams. What else happened in sports yesterday, Ross? Anything crazy?
Nothing too crazy. I mean, except for the Pelicans losing, which was, but that was expected. But with Zion's pinky boo boo, as Chef Asher called it, or whatever Velveeta said.
Asked Jokic what he was going to do in the 4 days after the All-Star break. He said, maybe eat bad.
Fair. Very fair. I can run over real quick a couple of the scores from last night. We had Washington, the Wizards, knock off the Clippers. Washington's been kind of a giant killer so far this season. They keep getting these big upset wins. Boston against Toronto was a fun game. Boston winning that one 132-125. What happened?
I just saw a really funny tweet from Joey Ingles.
Oh,
so so everyone knows that everyone's heard the reports that Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, their relationship is unsalvageable, right?
And
that was right. So Mark Stein tweeted out, the NBA announces that it has fined Utah's Donovan Mitchell $25,000 for public criticism of the officiating and his conduct while exiting the playing court, and Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert $20,000 for public criticism of officiating.
Dumb.
And then Joe Ingles quote tweeted it and said, "Unsalvageable. They even get fined together." And then put 3 heart eye emojis. Joe Ingles is hilarious. Also, shout out to Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert being the last 2 players picked for the All-Star game.
Right? Isn't that wild?
Yeah. It's hilarious for me because I don't like the Jazz. I like Jazz. I like Jazz fans. Sorry, Jazz fans. Sorry, David Locke, if you're listening.
You don't like Jazz fans?
No.
Oh. Rude.
I think it's a consensus that everyone who's not a Jazz fan dislikes Jazz fans.
I don't mind Jazz fans.
I saw someone create it was like a fan base tier. It was like, tell me what y'all think. And then in the elite tier was every team except for the Jazz, and then the trash tier was Jazz fans.
Jeez, what is the reputation of Jazz fans that I'm unaware of?
Just they're annoying and think everything revolves around them. And
I mean,
just thinks they're better. They just think they're better than everybody.
They're literally the best team in the NBA right now.
Yeah. Whatever you say, if that's what makes you think they're good, if that what you think makes you good,
your win-loss record. Yeah, if you define success by winning games, I guess. Jeez, that's so funny.
But no, Jazz fans really do have a negative perception. And I think it's also because of how many NBA players hate playing in Utah because their fans are consistently the most aggressive and racist.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's a whole other part of the story too. Is like, yeah, because that's kind of the same type of criticism that Philadelphia Eagles fans tend to get. And let me not call it criticism. Let me say that that's like part of the issue. All told, Boston fans too, like that. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Utah didn't play last night, so they didn't win or lose. Milwaukee just barely eked by the Memphis Grizzlies 112 to 111. Miami beat New Orleans 103-93. New Orleans without Zion Williamson for that one. OKC winning 107-102 over San Antonio. Portland gets their win against the Kings, and then Phoenix just beat the hell. It's a slobber knocker against Golden State, 122-98. No games tonight or tomorrow. The All-Star game on Sunday, and then back to action for the regular season starting March 10th, which will start off with a doubleheader, or not a doubleheader, but a pair of games. The Washington Wizards going up against the Memphis Grizzlies and San Antonio Spurs going up against the Dallas Mavericks.
If I told you going into the All-Star break that the top 2 seeds in the Western Conference, if I gave you a guess, who would you have guessed before the season?
I 100% would have just guessed both LA teams.
Yeah. Now, if I gave you an option, I said, okay, neither of the LA teams were there. Who would you put up there?
I would have taken the Jazz. I would have said the Jazz, and I would have said Phoenix.
Well, those are the 2 top teams.
I mean, obviously, I knew that, but I mean, we've been very high on Phoenix since the bubble and everything. So, yeah, I think I would have continued to ride the Phoenix hype train, if you will. But the Jets are a pretty obvious one. I guess you probably maybe could have thrown the Nuggets in there a little bit. Houston, depending upon at what point you would have asked me, right? Just
before the season start.
Yeah. Right. So it would have been before the Jets. So then maybe Houston would have been in there for me too. Actually, maybe would have. Maybe I would have
definitely wouldn't have put Houston in the bottom 3 of the league.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. Yeah, I think I would have gone Phoenix and Houston in that case. Pre Harden trade.
But man, I am this is a weird basketball season.
It has been. It has been. And it's just another, it's like further proof that there's no transitive property in sports. You see like Washington beating all these great teams, but then still having to borrow a phrase from yesterday, the record's dog water, 14-20. Which I guess isn't that terrible, particularly in the East. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the fact that they've beaten the Lakers, who was it? The Lakers, the Clippers, they've beaten. They've had some really good wins so far over the course of the season.
It has
to beat the Nuggets, to beat the Lakers, the Trail. Yeah, they had that 5-game winning streak where they beat the Celtics, Rockets, Nuggets, Blazers, and Lakers all in a row.
It is also expected that PJ Tucker has played his last game as a Rocket.
Ooh. What is the NBA trade deadline situation?
Let's see. I do not know.
March 25th is the trade deadline this season. So we'll get past the All-Star game. And then we'll get into the trade deadline the last week of March.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see if we see any player mobility during the trade deadline. Last year's trade deadline wasn't too crazy, was it?
No.
I feel like it wasn't that nuts.
Mm. No, I don't think so. It never really is. The biggest one was DeMarcus Cousins.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing, right? Like they planned like a whole like special on ESPN to where they were covering the day all day, and then like nothing happened at all.
Well, trade deadlines nothing ever happens during them, but every year, every sport, everyone's like, oh crap, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Like if you haven't made a trade by the time that you get to the trade deadline in the middle of the season, what's the point in doing it just because there's a deadline there?
I don't know. I mean, I guess people teams could tend to wait to wait until there so they have like the most time possible to see what their team was like, but without having to go for a trade. And
you could see people unloading contracts, selling low a little bit.
I would not be surprised if if the Rockets are just completely like young and rebuilding.
Yeah,
there have been teams that are that have expressed much interest in John Wall.
Oh,
so I mean, John Wall's playing good.
Yeah,
so it does not surprise
really nice season. He's had a really nice season so far.
Looking for someone. 1 second.
Yep, take your time. I want to take a look next at some of the things since we're talking about the All-Star break and the All-Star game and basketball. One of the things I wanted to take a look at was the All-Star game odds that we have. Here comes Dylan back.
Hello.
Yo, I wanted to talk about the All-Star game odds as we wrap up today.
Yeah, let's go.
So what we know is that Team LeBron opens up as a 4-point favorite. Mm-hmm. The over/under is set to just 310 points. Remember, this is usually the All-Star game is usually a game in which we get close. We sort of feel like a team might end up scraping 200 points. Usually, we should talk a little bit about the players that were selected for each team as well. So, Team LeBron includes Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, James Harden, and Dame Lillard. Nope, that's 2020. Sorry. I was like, this sounds exactly like last year's roster. All right, NBA All-Star roster. Actually, you know what? Here. We can share it.
Oh, look at that.
Just a couple of guys being dudes. There we go.
Just a couple of guys being dudes.
We can put it on the screen. All right, so Team Durant features, of course, Durant, but also Bradley Beal, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum. Team LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, Luka, LeBron, of course, and Nikola Jokic. The reserves for Durant are Devin Booker, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, Nikola Vucevic, and then Zion Williamson, who very likely won't play. For Team LeBron, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Domantas Sabonis, Ben Simmons, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis probably was ended up getting replaced by Devin Booker. So those are your rosters for Team LeBron and Team Durant. As of right now, Team LeBron is the 4-point favorite. And then I'm going to jump over. We're going to take a look at some odds. I'll just open it up in the same window that we don't have to reshare everything. But who are you taking between those two teams with LeBron favored -4?
I'm taking Durant.
Ooh. Yeah, I think so too. Then we have some over-unders. I want to maybe stick with more. Yeah, here we go. All-Star MVP. LeBron plus 475, Luka plus 750, Steph Curry plus 800, Giannis plus 900, as well as Jokic that are all at that. And also James Harden at plus 900. Who are you taking for All-Star Game MVP?
James Harden.
I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell. I'm taking Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why. It's that same feeling that I got when I just felt like the Gatorade was going to be blue at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's a similar feeling, so I'm just going to roll with it.
Hey, well, guess what?
What?
You're right about that.
Oh, that's right. I did get that right. So maybe I'll hey, look, that's plus 1,400 odds right there if Donovan Mitchell wins MVP. I'm not mad at that.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm mad at that at all. Then we also have a couple of other things. We have the dunk contest between Cassius Stanley, Obi Toppin, as well as Anthony Simmons. Right now, the favorite is Cassius Stanley at -110. Obi Toppin is at 225, and then Anthony Simmons at 250.
I'm taking Obi Toppin.
Me too. Bloop. Yeah, that's what I want to take as well. All-Star Celebrity Game. Lil Baby and 2 Chainz, Quavo, Jack Harlow. I mean, based on this, I'm taking Quavo and Jack Harlow, just based upon who the teams are.
I'm taking, yes, it's got to be Quavo.
Just based on who the team captains are. Skills competition.
It might be only a 2-on-2 also.
Yeah.
But I would also take Quavo and Jack Harlow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't think they were going to do a celebrity game.
Yeah, me either. Skills challenge. Luka, Chris Paul, Julius Randle, Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Vucevic, and Robert Covington. I'm taking Chris Paul all the way on that.
This for the skills challenge?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Julius Randle.
I don't know why. I don't know. I think I just think about him the wrong way.
Uh-huh.
I think of him as like, big guy. But he does have, yeah. I'm going to still roll with Chris Paul, but I respect that pick a lot. 3-point contest, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. It is Steph Curry. I'm not picking Steph Curry in a 3-point contest. There's just no way.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going for this one? You got Curry.
I'm going Steph.
Yeah. There's no way I'm not picking Steph Curry in a damn 3-point contest. Like that's just ridiculous. No.
Although this seems like an event that Zach LaVine could probably win.
Potentially.
I really wish they didn't screw him over so many times and that he would still do the dunk contest because he's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he is really fun to watch. He should be has anybody, I don't think we've had anybody ever win both the dunk contest and the 3-point contest. Not in the same, I'm not talking about the same season, but like we haven't had even separately somebody win both in their career, have we?
I don't know, maybe.
We'll find out.
I'm trying to find out.
We'll find out here. Nate Robinson is the only player to win the slam dunk contest 3 times. Has anyone ever won the slam dunk contest and a 3-point contest in their career? Nope. No one's done it.
You just looked?
Yep.
Interesting.
Brent Barry, apparently. Oh, yes. Brent Barry did come close. I remember that. Yeah. No one's done it. Zach LaVine could have been the guy.
Could have been it.
Him over. Could have been the guy. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Dylan and Ross Save Sports. We will be back on Monday. We'll talk All-Star Game. We'll recap everything. Oh, what you got?
He has won the slam dunk contest before.
Oh.
So he could. I'm rooting for Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. We'll be back on Monday to celebrate Zach LaVine being the greatest athlete of all time. That's what we're going to do.
We'll be Babe Zaharias. Babe Zaharias is
Babe Zaharias, greatest athlete of all time.
Babe Zaharias is going to be the first person to win the slam dunk and the 3-point contest.
Posthumously. Without a doubt. Well, y'all, we appreciate you. We'll be back 5 p.m. on Monday, recapping All-Star Weekend and any of the news from NFL free agency. So we will be back here in just a moment, or not in just a moment, but we'll be back here after the weekend. Y'all stay safe. Take care. We'll see you then.
Adios. Go Tigers.